Crisscross, eyes forward. Okay, friends, so I want to talk to you today and let you know that we are going to be starting a new unit, and we are going to be studying plants.
Okay.
Do you remember that when we studied rocks, we called ourselves geologists?
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to be a special kind of scientist that studies plants called a botanist. Can you say that word?
Botanist.
So a botanist's job is to study plants, and that's what each of you are going to be doing over the next couple weeks. I want to tell you to have a look over here at our objectives. I'll read them, and if you want to read along with me together, now that I've read it one time, let's read it together. I want to hear all voices. I am to do a sneak peek and study one page in a non-fiction book and write one fact about plants. I can investigate and talk about plants. And the last one, Shalia, I can share 3 observations about my plant with my partner. So we have a lot of things to do today. This is going to help us stay focused and concentrate on what we need to do today. Ezra? So what I want to talk to you about is when we started our unit about rocks. You remember when we were geologists? One thing that we did was we created a circle map with ideas. And we're going to create one of those today as well, all about plants. I can collect, what are we collecting in our circle map? Say it with me. Information. Adler, what is it? Information. So just like we did when we were learning about rocks, we made a circle map. And remember when we started our circle map, some of us only wrote like 2 or 3 things. But what happened towards the end of our unit? Who remembers what happened when we went back to fill in our circle maps? Only 3 friends remember what happened to our circle map? 5 friends, 7, 8. What happened? We started off with just 2 or 3 things. Armanian?
We started off with rocks.
But we started off and we only had 2 or 3 kinds of things that we knew about rocks. After we did all our learning, Miss Rollins said, go back and add more things to your circle map. What happened?
We filled it up. We filled it up with information we know about rocks.
Absolutely. It's because we did a lot of reading and writing and investigations about rocks. So I hope that's what's going to happen when we learn about plants to our circle map here. Okay? So what I want you to do now is we are going to think about what we already know about plants. And we're going to ask ourselves, what do I already know about plants? And what is, when I say the word plants, it reminds me of. I'm sure lots of you have some experiences with plants. Give me a thumbs up if you're already thinking about something you know about plants. I see about 18, 19 hands. Very nice. You are going to share with your buddy what you think you already know about plants. Because when I start to think to myself, if I'm going to get ready to start thinking about plants, when Miss Rollins says plants, you know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about when I was little, my mom would always put out some little plants. And the thing I remember about plants is you got to really take care of them. You have to be watching them and taking care of them, or they're not going to live. That's what I remember about plants. Maybe. Okay, let's sit, turn knees to knees, fist to 5. Start getting your ideas in your head. Go.
I know about plants because you can die, but you have to really take care of them. You need to seed and put them in the dirt and cover them. And also when I And also, when I got some dirt, I put it behind our flowers, and when the dirt turned to rock.
How did you know all this information? What helped you? What helped you start to make some connections about plants?
Because last time I got maybe this messed it up.
Where did you get the plant from?
From my kindergarten class.
Okay.
I think it was okay.
So I like what you said about that you got a seed and you put some dirt on it.
Seeds start with little seeds and then they grow into big seeds, and they start with the dirt and grow into a flower.
You know, when you're talking about this, Ezra and Milani, it reminds me of when we were learning about the pumpkin life cycle. Who can remember how we started with the pumpkin life cycle? Make a seed. Remember we talked about it, how to start it with a seed, and then it started to make the what? The sprout. And then you had your flower. And then you had your green pumpkin, and then your orange pumpkin. Your plant and your, oh, I got a little cute pumpkin head. How can I not see that right next to me? So I'm gonna write here something that what you guys were sharing reminded me of was the pumpkin life cycle. What we're gonna do is we are going to do a sneak peek onto nonfiction texts to continue to learn information. Let's come over and look at our poster right here, how to get super smart about nonfiction topics. Friends, we are already experts at this. We did this when we studied rocks. We did this when we studied the pumpkin life cycle. Let's read the first thing we're gonna do. Take a sneak peek to start learning. I can stop and study each page to learn what, everybody? Information. And I can talk about a page or book with a partner. So today what I'm going to do, boys and girls, just to remind yourselves, Aaron, sit up. Remind yourselves of all the things we did to become experts about geologists. We need to do that now to become experts about plants. I am going to give each of you a book about, with your buddy, about plants. You're going to put it down right in front of you, sitting right in front of you until I say go. You will be studying the cover of the book. Everybody has a sticky note where you will write something important that you notice. You are also able to sketch a picture or maybe highlight some important words. But friends, before we do that, I want to show you a list of important words that you might see in your text, okay, in your book here. I can talk and write like a botanist when I use important words about plants. Let's read that together. Everybody. I can talk and write like a botanist when I use important words about plants. Some of the words that you're going to see in your book today are going to be soil, and you've already said these words when I heard you talking about what you already know about plants. Leaf, stem, and roots. Let's say those words together. The soil, that's like this layer right here is the soil. Underneath is what, everybody? The roots. Then it starts to grow, and what do we call this? The stem, and then the leaves at the top. Try that with me. Ready? So this is going to be the soil. What's underneath the soil, everybody? The roots, and it's going to start to grow the stem, and then the leaves. So these are things you might see in your book, and I want you to start getting ready to think about that. What I am going to ask you to do, oh, I'll just have you a pencil, actually. I have them here. Instead of sitting knees to knees with your buddy, if you're sharing a book, how do you think you're going to need to noticing when you're looking through your book?
So
Isabella?
we want to lettuce was the leaf.
Oh.
Yeah, so leaves are lettuce, so you can eat the leaves because they're lettuce.
Did you know that some plants you can eat? Yeah, look, some leaves are good to eat like lettuce. Here's our important word, leaves. Where else do you see a leaf on this page?
Right here.
Yeah, look at this page right here. Parts of a plant.
I'm going to draw the picture of the parts of the
What else do you notice on this page, Isabella?
I know it's rocks and it's roots and I picture that picture and then without pointing at the leaves and the stem.
What was this other word other than rocks? Because it does have little rocks in there. Maybe some little pebbles, but what else what was the other word we used? See over here? Soil. Yeah, soil. Yeah, that's the part that the root is inside the soil. So this would be very important to make a notice about because you're learning some maybe different names of things. What are you going to write about?
I'm writing something on it.
It is on the ground, underneath like that. What was it that when we went to the farm that we had to do when we were getting
Oh, it's like the potatoes we had to dig like my dad showed me.
How did he show you?
He showed us how to dig under the ground to find the potatoes.
Yeah. So what was covering? What were you digging under? What was that called? That layer? Soil, yeah. So underneath the soil, that's when you were looking for the plant. Yeah, that's a picture of the soil right there. So underneath, it kind of reminds me of this. That was like the potato that we looked at. What are you going to write about that you discovered? Can you look through the rest of the book here? Did you see something else in this book that might have been interesting for you to learn some more information about? Where is that? So when you look at this, maybe it can remind you of the pumpkin life cycle. So what do you see? Sprout, yeah. And then it starts to become a flower, the plant, bud. Full bloom is when it starts to grow. So yeah, these stage steps right here kind of remind me of how it was when we were studying the pumpkin life cycle. Is that something you could write about? Okay, give it a go. You can remember, you can draw pictures and sketch it out. Now that you guys are super smart about nonfiction texts, I appreciate that everyone was looking at pictures, taking notes, and talking to your partners. Give your partner a thumbs up. All right, so friends, how many of you think you got more information by looking at through nonfiction text? Show me with a thumbs up. All right, we have a lot of sticky notes. Can we go back to add this to our circle map? Is it information that we've collected?
Yes.
I'm gonna have one or two friends share so we can move on to the next part. We have one other thing that we wanna try to cover today. Able to eat it, very nice. All right, guys, so now we need to move into the next part of our investigation. We'll get back to that. Let's go on to our next. So, friends, what you did was you used nonfiction text to help you get smarter about plants. Now what we're gonna do on our last part, or right here, I can investigate and talk about plants. What you're gonna do is you're gonna move over to your seats and you're gonna sit with your partner. Remember when we were geologists, and eyes over here, friends, I'm gonna count down from 3 to 0. I need your eyes this way. 3, 2, remember when we were geologists and we were making observations, we talked about the color, texture. Who remembers what texture means, everybody? The way something what? Feels. The way something feels. We use words like soft, rough, smooth, bumpy, hard. We talked about the size. Remember we talked about the big, what was it, the big boulder? Then it was a little bit small, like large, pebbles.
Sand,
The sand was what?
Gravel.
Gravel, and then tiny. How big was the sand? Teeny, teeny, tiny, right? So you can talk about that, and we also talked seat. You are going to be a botanist. Let me remind you of your expectations. Armanian, you are going to whisper, carefully examine the plant. You can use your little magnifying glass. At your table, you are going to have these words ready for you to use in case you need to find them, to remind yourself of what it is you're looking at. Remember, when you are making observations, you are saying things to yourself like, get this going in a second. I observed. The plant has. These are words you can use when you are talking to your partner about your plant. Thumbs up if you're ready to go and investigate your plant. Jeremy, are you ready? I can be saying, I observed the plant has blank and blank. Or when I touch the blank, it reminds me of. Ready? Go. Yep.
I think
It might just be something part of the color.
it might be kind of some white stuff on it.
And what is all this down here? These little brown things called remember that word? This one's the soil, and this is the roots. The roots? Yep. How does the soil feel?
It feels
The soil feels
the soil feels kind of hard and soft.
hard and soft? Yeah, and it feels like it's a little wet, don't you think?
Yeah, it feels kind of wet.
Soil. The soil feels.
Stop.
Say the soil feels. The
The
soil.
soil.
Yep, this one right here. The soil feels soft. What about the leaves?
See the leaves are kind of green and the color. Kind of soft. Put it
It's
down.
kind of soft, and also they're kind of flexible. See how they kind of bend a little bit?
hard. Even though.
Boys and girls, give me a thumbs up if you feel smarter about plants today because of the actually 3 things that you did. You talked to your buddy, you looked at nonfiction text, and you investigated and studied a plant. Give me a thumbs up if you feel smarter, Takaya, about plants today. Before we end our lesson today, let's look what we've done so far. I can do a sneak peek. Did we do a sneak peek? I can investigate and talk about plants. Have we done that?
Yes.
And the last thing is I can share 3 observations about my plant with my buddy. Okay, go. All right, friends, good morning. Good morning, guys. So what I want to talk to you about today is I want you to get your brain going back into all the things we've been learning the last 2 days. Put that on. About plants. Okay, you have been amazing botanists the first 2 days of our unit. One of the very first things we did is we created our circle map. I can collect information on a circle map about plants. And all of you did some digging. You looked around at nonfiction text and you talked to your partners. Can I hold that? I'll give it back to you after, okay? While I was looking at this, I thought it was interesting that I found 2 sticky notes. This one right here says, seeds can grow flowers like sunflowers. And then I also found another one that talked a little bit about seeds. I'll share these a little more carefully in just a minute. So that kind of brings me to what we're talking about today. And we will continue to add to this as we move forward in our unit. We might even have to make another one because there's just so much information that we're learning. So let's look at our objectives for today. I'm sorry. That's what we finished doing yesterday. Finished writing in our journals about. So let's come right here. Everybody together, look over here. Ready? I can explore a seed and make a prediction about what a seed needs to grow into a plant. I can listen to a nonfiction book and talk about what second. Last one. I can draw and label pictures to show what a plant needs to grow. So now we have a pretty good idea of how our morning is going to move along. So I'm going to have you just shift your body this way. Shift, turn. Yes.
I know that prediction has shown it.
Okay, yes, prediction, very good. Make a prediction so that we're gonna take a guess about something. I was looking through your journals yesterday, checking to see what kind of information you learned yesterday as part of our first 2 days. Issa, would you mind sharing your journal for us, please? Analia, sit on your bottom, babe. Crisscross.
It says, wait, what is this word again?
Whoa, think about it. Look at your
Stem.
stem.
Read.
I observed.
I observed stem, leaves,
Remember what this is called?
roots, and soil.
Soil.
And
R.
are is in the plant.
Nice.
The seed stem is soft.
So think about how give him a thumbs up first of all, and a little baby butterfly clap. You are being an amazing botanist, Issa. Let me have a seat, buddy. Let me remind you that just like we did when we were geologists and we wrote in our science journals, we had scientific drawings, we labeled our pictures, and we even wrote about the things that we observed and at the end what we learned. So Issa, I can tell that as you continue to become a scientist in all areas, your writing and your scientific drawings are getting better and better. So I'm really impressed about that. Thank you so much. I found was an illustration. Seeds can grow flowers like sunflowers. And right here, I noticed that in your nonfiction book, there was a picture. Is that yours? Come on over, Brianna. I could tell from your smile from far away. It had to be yours. Tell us a little bit about where you got this information. Do you want me to help you find it on here? So hold that up. Show your friends.
The seeds first are
I'll hold it this way. Go ahead.
first they put the seed in the soil, then it grows into sprout, and then into
That says bud. Bud.
a bud, and then into a flower,
Uh-huh.
and last seed
The seeds.
the
Seeds fall. Aw, yeah. So, remember we talked about, friends, how to get super smart about nonfiction topics. Brianna did an excellent job of this. She was using what she knew when she was studying each page. She put that information on her sticky note and added it to our circle map. Think of all the ways she is making sure she keeps that learning in her mind. There, we are going to be taking a look at a seed. We are going to be botanists in the fact that we're going to be making observations. And we're going to make a prediction here. So, I predict my seed needs blank to grow into a plant. Read that with me. I predict my seed needs blank to grow into a plant. Now, I'm telling you, friends, even though there's just one, it might need more than one thing. So keep that in your head. It's a little clue. So let's do a pair share and think about it. So everybody, ready? Eyes on me. Don't forget, I'm going to say go. Now, this is not a silly time. It's a time for you to have some time to think by yourself.
put water in there, and when it grows to a sprout, when it grows to a plant.
So you're definitely saying that that seed needs water to grow, right? Can you agree on that, both of you? I heard about what you think the seed needs to grow into a plant. So it starts off this way. Show me your seed. Starts off this way. And what's on top of that seed?
Soil.
Soil. And then what's going to happen? The stem is going to start to grow, and you'll have a sprout and some leaves. Oh yeah, the roots were down here and everything coming out. So let me show you what we're going to do next. So we're going to explore the seed and make a prediction about what seeds need to grow into a plant. Now we're going to go to our seeds and explore and actually look at a plant with our seed with a little magnifying glass. Here are some of the words I heard some of you say, and I'm going to kind of help you start thinking about these words when you're at your table. Some things I can talk and write like a botanist when I use important words about plants. Lots of you were saying the word water. Can you sit crisscross, darling? You too. Space, sunlight, soil. We're going to be learning this important yellow word when we do our reading in a minute. So try not to focus on that just yet. Water, space, sunlight, and soil. So think about these words as you're observing your seed today. When we go to do our reading in our nonfiction text to learn more information, these words are going to come up in our book, and it's important for you to start getting them ready in your head and thinking about what they mean when you are observing your plant. Does anybody have any questions? Seed. You will have a little cup with a seed and a magnifying glass. Take a few minutes to look at it and feel them. Let me remind you, friends, you're thinking about the color, texture, size, and shape. Why would I ask you to keep those things in your mind when you're observing?
Oh, so you can think about it.
But there's another reason. That one too. I don't want you to just go over there and start chit-chatting and say, oh, I like this seed, it reminds me. I want you to use those scientific words when you're describing something. I want to hear those words too. I observe.
This is so hard. Like, it's kind of hard.
Here are some words that you can use for your conversation. I'll be right back. Keep chatting. The next thing we're going to do, friends, here, I can listen to a nonfiction book and talk about what plants need to grow. Each one of you are going to get your own book, and in your book, you are going to turn to where the sticky note page is. The story we're going to read is Ready, Set, Grow. Now, since we've already been asking the question, Brianna, about what do plants need to grow, what you can always do is go to a nonfiction book to learn information. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to be talking to you about using your sticky note to write down the things that we learned. You can draw and label pictures to show what a plant needs to grow. You are going to get today's not the day we're going to plant our seeds. That's another day. What you're going to do is you're going to make a poster to show your understanding. Plants need water, sunlight, space, and soil.
Botanist and Ray. We can't fight while a video recording. We can't. It's not. Yeah, now we can talk about it. Yes.